All right. All right. So I am live. I should be live in 3 places: Instagram, YouTube, and my Facebook group. So we'll see how this goes. So hello to anybody who's watching. So this is going to be a Mercury in retrograde reading. Mercury's in retrograde right now in Gemini. So this means that we're going to be working with the Gemini energy during this current retrograde. All right. Hey, Allie. So what does that mean? Gemini as an archetypal energy is all about how we think, how we learn, how we communicate. Gemini rules the 3rd house of the zodiac. And this is all perfectly in alignment. Hey, Chris, glad you're on live. Perfectly in alignment with Mercury, which is the energy of communication. Okay, so working with Mercury and Gemini at the same time, I think is really powerful. So some of the energies that Gemini brings into our life is how we think about things, how we understand and process. Gemini is represented by the twins, and usually the Gemini energy is really looked at as the either or, the opposites, okay? Good and bad, right and wrong, left and right, that type of an energy. But really, the Gemini energy calls for us to see all of the in-between, okay? All of the spectrum of life, the spectrum of experiences, the spectrum of truth. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. So with this Mercury season, when we have Mercury going retrograde, we know that this is a time when things start to slow down and we become hyper-focused on our interpersonal relationships, how we're communicating. You know, Mercury is always, kind of gets this bad rap that when it's in retrograde, things go wonky and things could be challenging. And that is the truth. There definitely tends to be some challenges that come up around communication and around technology and around things flowing smoothly. But remember that anything that does come up for you is coming up for a reason, okay? And it's not just to mess with you. If you're being challenged or tested over the next 6 weeks or so, or 5 weeks, it isn't because you're being messed with by the universe. It's because there are very specific situations and opportunities that are going to come up for you to step into your highest potential in the way that you're responding and the way that you're thinking about things. Now, when I started to pull this pile, I have 3 piles here. And I know for those of you in my Facebook group, you saw these piles already, and I'm going to show them to each of you now. This is a pick a pile reading, which means I'm going to be recording this one pile at a time. Okay, so let's say you chose pile number 3. You don't have to stay on for the live if you don't have time. You can come back to this video on my YouTube channel or in my Facebook group and access it to listen to your pile. But when I was choosing the decks, and I'll just hold this up so you guys could see, when I was choosing the decks to pull from, I wound up finding myself drawn to all of the decks that had purple in the artwork on the back of them, okay? And it started, hey, Kath, good to see you. It started to kind of become a thing where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to work with all the purpley kind of decks. Purple is crown chakra energy. It's that higher wisdom that wants to come in. It's the messages from spirit. It's divine insight. So the crown chakra energy is powerful. And I thought, what a perfect energy for this type of retrograde in Gemini, because we really are going to be working with our insights and our perspectives and perceptions, okay? So with that being said, all right, everybody, there are 3 piles. Now, for those of you that haven't seen, I'm going to hold up the first pile. Now, all the cards are the same in every pile or in terms of the decks they come from. The only difference in the card images that you're going to see is the fact that each card has a very specific, hold on, let me get that. There we go. Goddess. This light is like glaring for my live stream on. There we go. That's a better view. All right, so you can see that each deck is going to have this goddess card right here that is different. Okay, so this is pile number 1. We can see this divine feminine with all of the green plants around her, very luscious garden-like quality. And pile number 1's crystal is a tangerine quartz. This is one of my most favorite, and I'll put this up closer. This is one of my most favorite quartz crystals that I have. It is one giant quartz with a point on it that has all of these little baby quartz points attached to it. And it's a heavy piece. It's one of my most favorite in my collection. This is a very high vibration. I hold this quartz a lot when I'm meditating. So for those of you that have yet to choose a pile number 1 has a very high vibration. And this is definitely an awesome choice if you are somebody who is seeking to raise your consciousness, to elevate your vibration, to, you know, really be able to communicate with spirit, communicate with your higher self, receive the divine wisdom easier and more quickly. This is a beautiful crystal to meditate with. Okay, so pile number 1, one more time, was that crystal along with this very beautiful goddess green garden type energy. Pile number 2, okay, all the same decks used, but this is a different goddess card. You can see she has the blue around her, almost like water, with a beautiful flower crown on her head. All right, different energy. We have different colors here and a different image. The crystal for pile number 2 is this beautiful purpley dendritic agate. It's a free form. This is a really, really beautiful crystal. This light is really hard to capture the beauty for my viewers on YouTube and Facebook, but there also were 3 other little crystals around it. Purple Botswana agates, which I love, and an aura quartz point. All right, so let's see if I can get these closer to you guys so you can see. So we have these really, super purpley stones and the iridescent along with this purpley dendritic agate. And finally, pile number 3, we have a different goddess coming in for you guys. A lot of white, some yellow here. She does have a flower crown on her head. But you can see it's almost got just a watery or snowy vibe to it with those beautiful yellow and white flowers. And she, ironically, ended up with an aura howlite sphere. All right, aura howlite is, you can't really see it on the camera, but there's an iridescent quality to this beautiful howlite sphere. And she also is accompanied by a labradorite tumble. So if you like labradorite crystals, maybe pile number 3 is for you. If you like the color white, if white is carrying a vibration that resonates with you. And here's the deal. When you're making a choice like this, you don't need to stress over the choice that you make. Sometimes people think, oh my God, pick a pile. What if I pick the wrong pile? What if I don't pick, what if I miss the message? I picked the wrong one and the message was in a different pile. There's no rules. You're always going to hear what you're meant to hear. So don't stress and think that you're going to do anything wrong or pick the wrong pile. You will always make the right choice for yourself because that's just how it works. And the thing to remember when we read cards is that this is a universal message that comes through. So, and this is a general read. I'm not reading for you personally, which means that everybody that listens is going to be able to pull some wisdom from what I read in the cards that can be applied to their own life. So don't freak out and stress out and think I'm going to choose the wrong one. That is not how it goes. You can choose based on color, based on crystal, based on the goddess card, based on the numbers 1, 2, or 3. Maybe you're going to go with 2 because you really love even numbers. There's no rules to this, guys, so don't stress over it, all right? So we're going to start with pile number 1. That was this beautiful tangerine quartz. And I'm just going to move my other piles to the side for right now. And like I said, if you can't stay on live for all 3 readings, you will be able to access this video on my YouTube channel as well as in my Facebook group. So no stress. All right, so pile number 1, your message is starting off with, I am light. I am light. All right, trying to get that in the light so everybody can see it. It says, today the light is within me. The light surrounds me. The light protects me. I remain light-filled and joyful, regardless of what circumstances arise. I am a diamond shining forth in all my splendor. I am worthy of the divine within me. This is a beautiful recognition and remembrance of who we each are. We come from the light. We are made of light. And the reason that we are born is to shine our light. So for pile number 1, people, this retrograde season, which is happening now until, I want to say June 10th. I could be wrong on that date, though. Actually, it might be a little bit after that, June 20 something. Mercury's in retrograde for about 3 weeks, but then we also have the post-retrograde integration phase, which is where the energy is settling in. So for those of you that chose pile number 1 with this message coming through, I am light, this is really an anchor point for each of you to remember that no matter what comes up, things are going to be okay. Things are going to work out, regardless of what circumstances arise. So we have the ability to be joyful. We have the ability to be in a place of faith and in feeling confident that things will always divinely align for us. So if something goes on in the next 3 weeks or 3 to 6 weeks for you guys, pile 1, please remember to access your light, okay? So it's remembering the truth of who you are. It is being in meditation. It's communicating with your soul. It's remembering that there is a divine alignment to everything that goes on. So being in a state of trust that everything happens the way that it's supposed to, and that things will unfold as they are supposed to. All right, your next card out. Kundalini Rising, Master number 22, ignite your passion for life. Okay, so pile number 1, I'm not shocked by this type of an energy coming out, because with this tangerine quartz, like I said, this is a high vibration crystal, and it is an activator. And that's what this card is recognizing, that right now you are being activated. You can even see the way that this card is showing all the fiery energy along the spine or the chakra system lighting up. Your Kundalini energy is your chakra system. This is your energy system being awakened. This means that there is going to be an awakening of some sort for you. There's going to be a revelation for you. There's going to be a new connection to soul happening for you right now. This is going to fill you with a lot of energy. It's going to fill you with inspiration. It is going to absolutely create a new perspective for you, okay? So notice, and I love that this is a reading for the crown chakra. Notice that this fiery energy is around the crown of the head, okay? So I really do think that your perception, people that chose pile number 1, your perspective is going to shift about who you are, what your life is really about. Hey, Patty, how's it going? Good to see you. There's going to be a lot of aha moments for you. I think it's going to shift the way you look at things. This is very exciting, pile number 1. All right. And then we have, she guards the waters of life, the goddess of, and I'm not even going to attempt to read it. This is from my Earth Warriors Native American deck. How incredibly beautiful and powerful this space is. All right, let's make sure I get it on this camera. She guards the waters of life. So there is a beautiful protective energy coming in here from the Ascended Master energy, okay, from your angels. This is definitely a revelatory period for you guys that chose this. There's definitely going to be new insights coming in, definitely around life purpose. If you are somebody, oh, hey, Gianna, good to see you. It is a gorgeous card, isn't it? This is a gorgeous deck, by the way. It's called Earth Warriors. For those of you that chose this pile, I think that there's going to be a lot of, like, I'm getting a very beautiful, sacred type of a vibration here. There's healing energy with this, okay? The waters of life are our emotions. This is our emotional energy. This is heart chakra energy. This is, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was forgiveness that's able to be accessed. For those of you that chose this pile that are battling or struggling with painful parts of your life, experiences that have really had an impact on you, that have really created a lot of pain, okay? I think that there is healing that's here, and this healing that's going to be coming in is absolutely going to be activating new aspects of your soul to be expressed, okay? We're going to keep going and see what else comes out. And there we have spiritual partnership, number 27. Yes, okay, so pile number 1, people. Again, this is a really important time period for you guys. So you are being activated by your guides. That's the best way to put this. There is a wisdom that is coming online for you. Hey, Juniper Moon, good to see you. That this is definitely a time period where pay attention to what you're going through and what you're experiencing, okay? The things that might seem mundane in life, the aspects of life that challenge you, the interpersonal situations in your life right now, within your relationships, there is an activation and an elevation opportunity here, okay? Your guides are coming through saying that this is a time where you can look at things from a different perspective. You can take your power back. You can understand that you are not a victim of your circumstances. Instead, you are a beautiful soul having a human experience, and the experience was divinely aligned by you on a soul level. Therefore, anything that challenges you, do not meet it with resistance. Do not meet it with that feeling of wanting to avoid it. Okay. Instead, you want to step into your power in this. Remember the first card that came out, I am light. Notice that this being, this beautiful being that represents you, is standing at the top of these stairs and is very, very beautifully connected and receiving that light from up above. Okay. When you find yourself challenged in this Mercury retrograde season, invite your team to give you the wisdom that you need in any given moment. Remember, you're going to be working with spirit through this. This is a partnership for you. This means that the wisdom coming down is definitely going to be felt moving through your body. If you are somebody who does energy healing, whether or not you've ever had energy healing, I suggest you go for it now. I suggest you get some Reiki done, or maybe you're going to be learning about Reiki or any other type of energy attunement. This is a really good time for you guys, pile one, to be doing that. I think that there's going to be a lot of emotions that come through that need healing for you, but this is a beautiful opportunity because it's time. And here we have gratitude coming out for you guys. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. Now, remember, you guys chose the beautiful goddess with all of that beautiful garden energy to her, okay? So this kind of reminds me of that, and I'm going to read the goddess card right now. It says, stand in a garden and be thought-free for just a moment. So pile number one, I do feel that there's a lot of heart chakra energy that's going to be shifting. I think things might be coming back up for review for you. So things that you've experienced that have caused hurt, that have caused, some pain that you haven't released yet, now is a time to be releasing it. The way that you're going to be doing that is, one, through gratitude. If you are not somebody who already practices gratitude, this is a massive shift that can help you process things that you've gone through, find the good in things. This is really important. Gratitude is a crucial part of our physiology. It changes our brain. It changes the way we experience life. It also facilitates healing. Okay, gratitude helps us to release what needs to be released. Okay, this is for us as a part of forgiveness. And I do feel that there is forgiveness that's necessary in your life somewhere, people that chose pile one. There is something that you've held on to that has hurt you, and your team is saying right now, it's time to allow that cleansing to happen, okay? It's time to feel the emotions and release the emotions. Your team is here to support you through this. You're getting self-love. There you go. And we have the adult with the child. So if we enter some inner child work happening, let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before. All right, pile one. It really is about healing for you guys, okay? Expressing the gratitude for the good things, for the lessons, for the wisdom that the people in your life have brought to you. Releasing the attachment and the grasp onto the pain. You remember that we come here to transmute, okay? So we are, and this is why this is important that you began this with the I am light message. We are designed to transmute energy. Hey, Dana, how's it going? I do too. Juniper Moon, these are Divine Abundance by Tosha Silver. That's this deck. We are literally born with the tools to transmute the things that hurt us, okay? Our emotions are the energy that runs through us. The way that we respond to life determines how quickly we get through our lessons, how quickly we can transmute pain. We are not meant to carry it with us for a lifetime. We are not meant to keep the potential, oops, I'm backwards, keep the potential pain that we might have endured as children, or the limiting beliefs, the outdated beliefs, okay? We're not meant to hold on to those for a lifetime. We're meant to evolve through them and to change up the way we understand ourselves. So pile number one, you truly are here right now in this moment to understand yourself in a new way, okay? See how you are with this Kundalini rising. This is a completely new understanding of your power and of your place here on this planet as a soul, not just as a human, not just as your personality, not just as the roles that you play that you're used to. There is a whole nother powerful aspect to who you are, and that is what you're going to be exploring this Mercury retrograde, okay? So there is a lot of healing energy here that your guides want to work with you through to release things. Definitely around family. So we have Archangel Metatron coming through with family, the circles of life, card number 49. So pile number one, you know, there is some pain around your family experience, whether this has been as a child, what you went through, or this is within your own family right now. There's a strong focus on family and self-love and healing. So when it comes to, you know, it's funny because my friend Braun and I, who I may or may not be watching right now, are doing so much work in creating something that has to do with families, and children. And we are focusing so much on helping people understand how to view family with gratitude and with love, because our families can be some of the most difficult contracts that we have, soul contracts, okay? So we are contracted to have our soulmates. We are born into our family. We are fated into our family of choice for a reason, but that doesn't mean that it goes smoothly. For some of us, our family contracts are the hardest contracts of our life, and they require us to explore and heal in order to fully embody who we came here to be. So I do get a sense, pile number one, people, that there is healing that needs to take place for each of you in some capacity around your family, whether it's a past issue or something that's more current. There is some type of emotional piece that is needed that your guides want to work with you on, okay? Whatever this pain is, whether this was the beliefs that were drilled into you as a child that no longer are in alignment, maybe it was judgment from family, maybe it was mistreatment from family, betrayal, whatever this was for you. This is a really important retrograde season, because Spirit wants you to see the value of what went on and how it has impacted you and grown you. She guards the waters of life. I'm going to come back to her for a minute. I actually think I need to get the book for this deck, because I don't have the book in front of me and I wish I did. There is a very ancestral healing vibe that's coming through for you guys. So what I mean by that is that your family that came before you, your ancestors, your loved ones in spirit are working with you, okay? With this spiritual partnership card. They are working with you. They want to help you see from a different perspective how your situation within your family grew you and how it has helped make you who you are today. Now, if that means that you need to step into your power and maybe create some healthy new boundaries for yourself, that's fine, okay? Because if you are healing something that at one point took away your power, or at one point caused you deep pain and caused you to forget who you are, or not even understand the power of who you are, you're stepping back into that power now, okay? There is going to be a shift in your perspective. So pile number one, invite the spirit, your spirit team's wisdom in, because your ancestors are here. You have family surrounding you right now that is here to really, I get this vision of just like the water coming down like a shower, like rain, cleansing that which has hurt you, what has caused you pain, what took your power away from you. I'm getting a different vibe. I'm getting a cleansing, you being able to see the gifts that were given. Maybe it was in your strengths. Maybe it was in the way that you know yourself now, the discernment that this taught you, the values that it instilled. Well, maybe some things were painful, other parts of the family were not, and you can recognize the beautiful values that came through in family. For those of you who are not healing necessarily family pain from childhood, I do feel that your ancestors are here to support you, because with self-love coming through, there is a confidence and a value of self that is needed right now that Spirit says they want to work with you on. So I do feel that you have these loved ones in Spirit that are here to say, hey, stop doubting yourself. Stop thinking you're not good enough. Stop thinking that you can't do something. Stop thinking that you're small or powerless in your life, because you're anything but. I see a massive increase in confidence in you guys, so be open to it. And finally, Archangel Metatron is finishing up with conquering fear. Start today. How perfect. Yeah. So pile number one, you guys have this really beautiful transformation happening this retrograde, where Spirit is here to help you overcome what has been holding you back. There are beliefs that are holding you back. There's fears. There's a lack of self-trust. There's some self-doubt that needs to go. There is so much power inside of you that you're not tapping into. And that is what this retrograde season is for right now, is for you to understand who you are. All right, let's see what else. Thoughts create your reality. So you guys are going to be trained this retrograde season into understanding how powerful you are, and that you're, right, perfect, crown chakra healing, right? That what you think, how you perceive yourself, your perception. Hey, Jamie, how are you? This all plays a role in what you experience, okay? So if we stay trapped in, let's say, victim mode, if we stay trapped in resentment over past hurts and pain, if we dwell in what has happened to us without understanding that things also happen for us, even if we don't choose what goes on, there is still value to everything we experience. There's a massive shift happening for you guys, pile number one. Okay, that's what I can say here. We're going to keep going. We have a few more cards. You have the amethyst crystal coming out. Wow, this is so perfect. Crown chakra energy again. All right, with the amethyst crystal, revealing your true self as you allow others to know the real you. You'll feel loved for who you truly are. Oh, pile number one. This is all about feeling better and not doubting yourself. Oh, cool. Juniper Moon, if you missed any of pile one, you can catch this on the replay on my YouTube channel, or on the Facebook group. So it's self-trust. It is self-love. I mean, this nailed it, right? Like self-trust, self-love, understanding the power of who you truly are. I mean, Spirit, I can't even like fit all the cards that Spirit's coming through with this message. We started off with I am light, understanding your true nature. We have the Kundalini rising, the wisdom of self coming through. We have the healing waters of the goddess here. I mean, you guys are just really being supported right now by Spirit, working in partnership to most certainly heal what is keeping you feeling small or holding yourself back, okay? Whatever pain you're carrying around, pile one, it's the Spirit saying, this is a time to let go of that. This is a time to release. Hey, Cassie, so great to see you. All right. In the near future is coming up as your timing card from the angels. In the near future. So pile number one, if you have been thinking to yourself, when am I going to feel better? When is it going to shift? When is it going to change? Spirit is saying it's in the near future. Your prayers are being answered in the near future. Hope is here. There is beautiful healing available to you, and you are getting, oh my gosh, I love this. Your symbol for this reading is the chain. I can't even take it. I love it. The chain, breaking the chain. I'm going to tell you right now, you're breaking ancestral patterns, pile one. You guys are absolutely working with your loved ones in spirit. Those of you that came before you, hello, hello. I see people saying hi, but I can't see everybody's name because I'm using this StreamYard platform and it doesn't give me everybody's name. Gives me some names and not others, and it's kind of weird like that. So to whoever said hi, hi. You guys are working with ancestral energy to break the chains. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that the things, the beliefs, the ways of life that have kept you down, kept you feeling small, kept you feeling like you can't totally trust yourself, the ways that you have felt that maybe you need to go out on your own, maybe you need to do things differently, but yet you don't do it because you think that's not how it's always been done. In my family, we do it this way. In my society, in my culture, it's done this way. So I can't really deviate because what will people think? Or maybe I'm wrong for thinking that way. No, you're not wrong. whatever your intuition is saying to you, whatever it is that has been an urge inside of you to be your own, be different, to do things differently, follow it. And this retrograde season, I'm seeing that as your theme, pile one, okay? I am seeing you truly breaking out of very limiting beliefs, very limited expectations of yourself and or of what you should be able to experience in life, okay? I am seeing a busting out of that, and that all stems from the awakening of who you are as a soul. And doesn't this card look awesome? It reminds me of like the peacock feathers coming up, like these balls of fire with this kundalini energy kind of reminds me of peacock feathers. I don't know if you could see like the center, right? I bet you could see it. All right. It's like being yourself. It's like just loving yourself and trusting yourself so much that you don't hide your authentic self. You don't worry. Oh, hey, Gypsy. Great shirt, right? DMB. You don't hide and shut your mouth because you wonder who's going to judge you. Instead, you be you. You do you, and you don't worry about judgment because your soul alignment, guys, pile number one, your soul alignment, this power, I keep going to the opposite side, this power that wants to come out in you can only be expressed when you give yourself permission to access it. When you consciously say to yourself and invite the grace from your spirit team to give you the courage to be my authentic self, to show up as is in truth for me in the right here, right now, regardless of the past, regardless of the family that I was born into, regardless of any limitations that I have been living under, okay? This is a powerful busting out time for you guys. Pile number one, busting out of the chains. You have your ancestors and loved ones in spirit helping you. You have your spirit guides working with you. You are working in partnership this retrograde to absolutely see yourself from a whole new perspective. So we're going to bring it back. That's awesome, Juniper Moon. We're going to bring it back to this original idea of when we're working with Mercury retrograde in Gemini. Gemini is in how we think. Gemini is our perceptions. And Gemini really calls for us to see all, to see the spectrum of possibility, not just the what seems in reality versus not reality, what's for me, what's not for me, who I am not. That is the type of thinking that I see you guys, pile one, really thinking about, okay? I really see you exploring yourself, exploring where you fit at this point, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, choose you over anything else. Because that's what you're meant to be doing. And when things get a little bit overwhelming, go back to this beautiful goddess energy. And she reminds us, stand in a garden and be thought-free just for a moment. Meditate, be in nature, walk in the woods, spend time in your garden, be a part of the earth. This is a very earth energy right here, because that is what is here for you, this Mercury retrograde. So for pile one, I wish you love and growth and strength and self-trust, because that is what you should have. All right. Love yourself enough to choose you, pile one. Beautiful messages from spirit. So feel strong and recognize just how strong you are. There's nothing small about you or weak or wrong or anything that needs to change. Okay. Pile number two. You guys chose the beautiful dendritic agate. I still have yet to get a really good view of this beautiful crystal. This picture is not doing it justice. Along with our aura quartz point, little rainbow point, and our super purpley Botswana agates. I love these. Okay, so pile number two, your goddess was this beautiful girl here with the beautiful flower crown. All right. She's a bit of a more emotional energy, okay? So with pile number one, we had that earth energy with the garden. Here I feel more water energy coming through with the blue. And here is her message. She says, pile number two, reject any desire to be like others. You are incomparable. You are an incomparable, precious jewel. So another message coming through of expressing and honoring your individuality. Maybe that's the theme for all of us this retrograde. Okay, so pile number two, your message of life is letting go. Beautiful image here of release and surrender. And it says, today, remembering that God is within and around me, I release myself to God's hands and regain my inner peace. I know God is providing me that which is most beneficial for my soul. I know that God is sending angels to help me face any difficulties that arise. I let go into God's will, knowing the best is yet to come. I love that. I wrote that line today. The best is yet to come. Pile number 2, you're being called to surrender. You are being called to release your burdens, release your fears, release the things that are keeping you stuck in fear and in uncertainty, maybe in the sense of having to figure things out and know how to do them all on your own. This is what's being called of you, is to let it go. All right. And we have a dark night of the soul coming in for you guys, pile number 2. This is hard energy to deal with, okay? This is difficult energy to deal with. The dark night of the soul, and as you can see, it's a very shadowy card here. This is like the Tower card, okay, of the tarot. This is a chaos cycle. The dark night of the soul references when we are in a really, really, really hard moment, when life might feel like it's being torn apart. Things that felt stable, things that felt sure, get totally messed up and ripped out from under us. It's like losing your footing, okay? A dark night of the soul may have you questioning everything that you thought was truth, your beliefs, your role in the world, your relationships, your choices, what you feel and have felt up to this point that was safe versus now no longer feels secure, okay? And the saying on this card says, life brings new meaning. And that is the purpose of a chaos cycle. And interestingly enough, these are so in alignment, because whatever you're going through, pile number 2, Spirit is referencing the fact that it's hard, okay? Spirit is saying, we feel your pain. We know the sense of powerlessness and maybe the fear that's overwhelming you, pile number 2, the changes that are inside of your heart, the changes that you might not have any choice over, okay? Because a dark night of the soul really does tend to take away our sense of choice, okay? What goes on in a chaos cycle is a divinely aligned situation that is truly here for our own soul's evolution. But it's hard, okay? These are the challenges that come up around life that are the big ones: divorce, endings of relationships, grief and loss, illness, loss of jobs, really just loss of something, whether it's a relationship, loss of security, loss of health, loss of power and control in our lives, okay? The loss of what we felt we could rely on. That's really the best way to put it, all right? So what I feel for you guys right now, pile number 2, is that Spirit is recognizing just how hard that is and how difficult that feeling is, and has empathy and compassion. Your team understands how your heart feels, and they want you to understand that you don't have to figure yourself out of it. You don't have to, you're not in charge of making it go away. You're not in charge of making all the right decisions. Sometimes we think to ourselves, if I handle it the right way, if I make all the right decisions, then I make or break the outcome. It's on me, right? Like, I've got to make the good choices. I've got to make the right calls here. And the pressure can be overwhelming, because along with life throwing us this curveball that is really, truly like feeling like the walls are crumbling down around us, we're also trying to figure out which wall to try and brace up in the moment, okay? It's like triage, okay? In a dark night of the soul, it can very well feel completely overwhelming, where all different aspects of your life at one time are like up in upheaval, okay? And that, as a human being, puts us in a state of a lot of pressure to perform, to figure it out, especially if we have a family and people are looking to us to make things better. That's a lot of pressure. So when we're getting this letting go message, we're getting this message of, hey, release it. Release the need to make the right choices, and know that you will, because your choices will be guided. Release the need to know what's going to come next, because you don't need to know what's going to come next. All you need to do is be present in the moment and stand in your strength and in your faith and understand that whatever comes next, you've got this, okay? Kath, yeah, you've been feeling you have a lot of shadow stuff coming on. Yeah. Well, you know, that lunar eclipse that we just had, guys, this is shadow work. And I think we're all experiencing this maybe to a degree. And I know I have been. A lot of emotions that come up. And when we talk about shadows, and that is, I mean, look at this card, right? We're working in the shadows when we're in a chaos cycle. Why? Because the chaos cycle takes away our control. All right. The chaos cycle takes away our choice. And instead, we have to stand up and face what is presented to us, whether it's emotional turmoil, mental turmoil, physical, okay? Yes, Kath says it's extremely intense. It definitely is intense, and it can be very overwhelming. We are all scheduled to be in chaos cycles at different points in our life, okay? It happens differently for all of us. Now, a retrograde combined with being kicked off by this lunar eclipse with this full moon in Sagittarius, I mean, we've got major energies happening. Plus, we have Saturn in retrograde. Pluto is in retrograde. Pluto, I call the wrecking ball. If you picture Miley Cyrus coming in like a wrecking ball, like that's Pluto to me. Yeah, this is action oriented. A lot of negotiation on a soul level, guys, with our sense of power and control. That's a lot of the energy that's out right now, is all of us being confronted by the natural situations in our life, all of the natural scenarios that we're in. Where do we stand in it? How do we meet these situations head on in our power and in our integrity, in soul alignment, okay? Kath says she stood up and spoke for what she needed. Well done, Kath. Yeah, and sometimes it feels like a wrecking ball. Like it feels like sometimes shit's got to get torn down in order to get rebuilt in a healthy, stable, secure, long-term, solid foundation way, okay? A chaos cycle enters our life when the energy is old and things have to change. It is not working anymore. A way of being is no longer working. So pile number 2, we're going to keep going, but understand that it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not being punished, but you are in a moment that is requiring surrender, okay? Oh, look at this. You are getting the totemic puma, powerful awakening. Could this be any more of a powerful animal totem of transformation? Look at the butterfly. We've got the sacral chakra, the orange energy sacral chakra happening here. This is an activation. This is a personal power awakening for you guys. This is an inner strength being bloomed. Trial by fire. This butterfly totem combined with this beautifully strong, majestic cat is absolutely your ability to stand in the chaos cycle and almost like it's like I can picture us standing and that's just a whirlwind of energy around us. It's like a tornado is flying around us, pulling everything, uprooting everything around us, changing what we can sense as stability in our life. And yet we stand in it and say, okay, Spirit, I trust you. I trust you. And not only do I trust you, but I trust that this is me. I trust that when this cycle ends and when this tornado and this windstorm that's in my life right now settles down and the weather becomes quiet, my energy weather settles down and relaxes, this is me. This is you, pile 2. Okay? This is you. This is you with wisdom. This is you with power. This is you with boundaries. This is you with everything that you need. Unstoppable. Okay, pile number 2, unstoppable. You are not meant to be like anybody else. And whatever you're going through is 100% forcing you and training you to believe in yourself, right? We started out, reject any desire to be like others. Christine, this makes me think of our conversation just yesterday, right? Reject any desire to be like others. You are an incomparable, precious jewel. I mean, pile number 2, what a beautiful message from your spirit guides. A power awakening. So pile number 2, if you've been thinking at all about quieting yourself or blending in or self-sacrificing for other people's comfort or to be accepted or to fit into the mainstream, don't do it, okay? Because you are not meant to. I sense a massive leadership explosion from you guys on the other side of this retrograde, that what you're going through and the surrender, remember, and I even love how these birds, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we have the Holy Trinity here with these birds. This release up to that beautiful triangle of the doves. This is your only job of this retrograde, is to let it go, is to understand that this moment is changing you in a way that you need. You never fit in, Chris, and that's why you're so wonderful. Oh, look at that. We have teaching and learning. How very perfect. Number 57, teaching and learning coming through for this Gemini retrograde. That's what it's all about. So, and guys, this is what a dark night of the soul is really all about. Life brings new meaning, right? What you thought you knew, now it's different, okay? So what's happening is here, we are being schooled. Pile number 2, we're being schooled. And what we're learning is some knowledge that we wouldn't want to live without, okay? It is worth it, because this power awakening coming through for you guys, you can't go back, okay? You can't go back. Once you learn it, you can't unlearn this, okay? All right, let's keep going. Inner child work. I feel that there are so many certain themes that are the same, okay? So we're all, and they are all the same, right? Because there's not one adult on the planet that doesn't need to do inner child work, because that's just the nature of how we evolve as humans. Like, we will always need to do inner child work, because our inner child took on all sorts of things throughout the journey of being a child that need to be healed, because this doesn't always fit us as adults, okay? Nor should it. So we should always be returning to our childhood to explore how the things in our childhood are impacting us currently, okay? It says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. How beautiful is this card? Sitting in the beautiful blue lotus flower. This reminds me of Green Tara sitting on her lotus flower throne. She's known for sitting on a blue lotus. This is a beautiful, healing, loving vibration. So for pile number 2, definitely take the time, do a meditation, reconnect with the younger version of self. There's like a post going around on Facebook right now that I've been seeing. If you could say 3 words to your younger self, what would they be? I love that post, because I think to myself, what 3 words would I say? More than 3 words, what would I say to my younger self? And I do these meditations pretty often now, actually. And for those of you that are a part of the Star Collective, you know what I'm talking about. This is an integral part of our journey, and our growth comes from healing what our younger self needed to hear and the support that our younger self needed. So Patty says, you've been feeling a huge change happening and it's so scary. Patty, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Go with it. All right. It's a beautiful change. It's a beautiful healing. Inner power, pile number 2. You guys are like, woo, you are just, I can't even, like powerhouses. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Pile number 2. Spirit is saying you have what it takes. You have what it takes to face this challenge, this dark night of the soul. You have what it takes to be courageous, to love yourself through it, to do the healing, to say what needs to be said if that's what it takes, to take action, okay? We have all of this sacral chakra energy. Let's talk about the sacral chakra for a minute. We know that this is our second chakra. This is our energy center of creativity, self-love. This is our self-worth center. This is how we find value in ourselves. This is what the energy center that really controls or ties greatly into our self-esteem. So pile number 2, I see that you're going through something very difficult. You're in a cycle. Hi, whoever that is, I can't see. I want to guess though and say it might be Candace. Hi, Candace, if that's you. It doesn't always show me the names on this streaming platform. I just feel, pile number 2, that you guys are really going through a difficult transition, and it is really pulling you apart, and it is really making you analyze and explore aspects of yourself that maybe you're not always comfortable exploring. This is why a chaos cycle or a dark night of the soul has us looking at our shadows. Mercury retrograde also asks us to look at our shadows. Our shadows are simply aspects of self that we tend to ignore because it's hard. Okay, our shadows are our fears, our insecurities, our past pains, shame, guilt, the aspects of self that are naturally a part of us as a human being that deserve love. That's all it is. It's parts of us that need love. So I do believe, pile number 2, that you have something inside of you. It is Candace. I knew it was you, Candace. Good to see you, girl. Pile number 2, there is something inside of you that definitely needs love from your childhood. So then invite spirit in. You could do a meditation, you could journal, you could free write, you can ask spirit to give this to you in your dreams at night before you go to sleep, but invite spirit in and ask, what childhood wound is currently impacting me right now that is ready to be healed? Because when you heal this wound, when you reframe your perspective of what you've gone through, when you reframe your understanding of yourself and the purpose that things have served in your life, it changes everything. And this is where your power is going to come from. This is like an intense, Kat says, it's very intense. It's the truth. It is intense. A dark night of the soul are these cycles of people's lives that, if they don't know what they're going through, can really feel victimized, can really feel overwhelmed, can really feel depressed, can really feel hopeless at times. This is no joke, okay? But it's temporary. And not only is it temporary, but what happens is when you get into the flow of it and you accept that this hard chaos cycle, difficult moment is here, when you access that flow, now you invite the miracles in. And that is why Spirit began your reading, pile number 2, with letting go. When we resist the dark night, when we resist the difficult emotions, when we resist the painful memories, when we resist the breaking down of things in our life that we don't want broken down, okay, when we resist all of the things that are happening that feel out of our control, we will stay there longer because we're not going to be conscious. We're going to be blocking that consciousness of what purpose this really serves, okay? Trust that anything breaking down in your life right now, pile number 2, has to. It is time, okay? So going with it and being in the flow of it is actually what Robert Ahato, I posted in my group earlier today, a video with him. He's one of my favorite astrologers, and he did a course called Igniting Miracles in the Dark, which is literally about healing through a dark night of the soul. And in order to ignite the miracles in the dark moments of our life, we need to accept that the dark moments are here for a reason, even if our human minds can't logic our way through it, okay? Even if we cannot understand why something is happening, we might feel that things are very unfair. We might feel a massive amount of pain around certain things in our life. And I am right there with you, pile number 2. But this is where we have the choice. We can either be really mad about it, resist it, try to put our pieces back together the way they were and insist that that's the way they should be, or we can step into our soul power, let go of what we think the way that we think things should be, honor our feelings around the release of what we think something should be, because there is a grieving process to this, okay? A dark night of the soul, there's grief involved. We have to say goodbye to some aspect of self here. We have to say goodbye to something that we thought was reliable and settled and stable and secure. And when we lose that stability, when that breaks down, it is very daunting to us as human beings. It is very overwhelming, and we want to honor the emotions that come with that. It isn't about avoiding it or thinking, oh, don't be sad, you're just in a dark night of the soul, no biggie. No, it's a biggie. It's a big deal. It's hard. So love yourself through it. Let yourself feel the feelings through it. But when you're done crying or raging or cursing off the people involved or anything else that you need to do to deal with the human aspect of this, then step into your higher power. And remember that you're being schooled, and there's some massive power that's being born inside you. There is massive wisdom that is being activated. There's creative wisdom here. There's creative healing, and it is around self-love. It is around self-acceptance. It is around loving yourself over everything, okay? Let's keep going, pile number 2, because we're not even done with you yet. All right, we have signs coming in from Spirit with love. So for those of you that see cardinals or little birds, here it is Spirit coming through with Archangel Metatron saying, we are around you, we see you, we love you, pay attention. What are your signs and synchronicities? You know, I'm going to tell you right now, for me, the best is yet to come. That has now been twice in my awareness today, that phrase. It's a line from a Frank Sinatra song. My bestie Kelly heard it and picked up on it too. That's always a sign from my grandfather in spirit. So that's a message to me, okay? That's a message to me that he's around, okay? That he's here and he's present in my life. Well, what are your messages? Even tonight, before I pulled all these cards and I started the video off saying this, I started to select the decks that I was going to be pulling from for this pick-a-pile. And I found myself pulling all these purple decks. And I said to myself in my head, I'm like, all right, cool. We'll just go with purple. We'll make purple our theme tonight. And then I happened to be listening to my friend Jackie, who, by the way, if you love crystals, you should follow her and shop from her, She Sure Crystals on Instagram. I was listening to a live sale, and at the same time I was thinking about my purple cards, she was talking about the purple in one of the crystals that she was holding up. So that synchronicity of purple coming through at the exact same time was a validation to me of, yes, Spirit wants me to pull these decks. Cool. And in fact, that happened 2 times while I was pulling the decks and shuffling and pulling the cards for the piles. Every time I was kind of thinking about these purple decks, Jackie was talking about the purple in a crystal. So I thought that was really funny. That is what this is, okay? So when this card comes through, pile number 2 with signs, this is referencing the fact that you are getting signs, you are getting synchronicities, you are going to be getting, and you already are, so pay attention, messages from Spirit that fit you. So when something comes into your awareness, and it makes you think something, and it reminds you of somebody, one of your loved ones in spirit, or it is, you know, an angel number. At the same time, you're thinking about making a specific decision, and then all of a sudden, this angel number shows up on the clock or on a license plate in front of you, wherever, 111, 222, 444, whatever it is. Recognize it, because that's what's giving you the validation. Because a lot of times when we are in a chaos cycle, when we're in this dark night of the soul, when things feel like they're breaking down, when things feel very overwhelming, think about it. We need then more than ever to get those little tiny signs that keep us going. So pile number 2, Spirit is saying, we're sending you signs. Pay attention. Maybe it's feathers. Maybe it's pennies. Maybe it's certain songs. One of my really good friends posts all the time on her really difficult days. Pink Floyd comes on the radio, and that was her mom's favorite band, and her mom is in spirit. So she always knows that her mom is sending her a message of, hey, I'm with you. I see how you're feeling. I know how you're feeling, and I'm with you. Pay attention to those, okay? So I'm just going to catch up on comments. Kat says you honored your feelings. You had some very emotional crying, and you allowed it. Yeah, you have to feel it to heal it. Absolutely. Never feel shame around any emotions that need to be expressed. We have to express our emotions. We have to release the energy. We have to honor ourselves. We have to honor our experience. We always have 2 perspectives. We have the human perspective of what it feels like to live this life. And then we have the soul perspective where we can get the higher wisdom. But when we access that higher wisdom, it doesn't negate the experience of how we feel. It doesn't negate the humanity of who we are. We need to love our human self. We need to have both. Again, a very much Gemini theme coming through for the Mercury in retrograde in Gemini right now, because Gemini tends to think, no, I'm going to take the higher perspective and I'm going to dismiss the human, but that's not it. It's actually about embracing both aspects of self. Okay. Yeah. Kath, you're going to love her. Her name is She Sure Crystals. She's on Instagram. And honestly, every crystal that you've seen tonight for these piles are from her. She's my primary crystal source. She's got amazing inventory, and she's just a beautiful energy. You'll love her. Yeah, you can't deny the human experience, Chris. 100% right. So let's keep going. Pile number 2. And Archangel Metatron is coming through with the Chakra Light Body card for you guys. Yeah, there's a lot of shifting. There's a lot of energy leaving your field. There is a lot of movement happening. Now, again, when we are in this type of situation, when we're in a chaos cycle, like I said before, there is old energy that needs to go. And we don't always want to release that old energy because that old energy is familiar. The old energy, you know, might be very, very comfortable, might be very, we're fine with it, okay? We might not want change. A lot of times a chaos cycle comes in, whoops, this one, and we don't want it. We wouldn't have chosen this, okay? But we have to trust that it's bringing us into alignment, okay? It is serving us. And that is what I see here coming through with Metatron's card for your chakra light body. There is healing coming through here. There is shedding of old energy. So just understand, again, that old energy is making space for the new expression of energy, pile number 2. I'm going to keep going back to these cards. The fact that you have power awakening along with inner power coming out is just, it's powerful, okay? So you want to trust that what is shedding and what is breaking down for you, what is changing and shifting has to. It's for your own good. All right? Oh, accept struggles as lessons. Yes, Spirit, we know. Accept struggles as lessons. That's the thing, okay? This is the card that you guys started out with. We have the dark night of the soul. We have the chaos cycle. Things are breaking down. We are struggling, pile number 2. We've got hurt going on. We've got things breaking down. We're not happy about it. We're not comfortable with it. It's bringing up fears. It's bringing up feelings of powerlessness. It's bringing up shadows that are hard to face. But Spirit says, hey, you've got to trust. You've got to let go. You've got to let go of the burdens. You've got to let go of what you're clinging to, because we see the bigger picture for your life. We see you. We love you. We know what is inside of you that has yet to be expressed. We see the parts of you that you don't even know exist yet. Trust us. All right. Your crystal, you are getting topaz as your crystal. Forgiveness heals. Time to release repressed anger as it's blocking your health and happiness. Okay. Well, Spirit, thank you. We have somebody to forgive. We have situations to forgive. So for those of you with pile number 2, that was your choice, I would suggest maybe getting yourself a piece of topaz, okay? Because there are emotions that have come up for you around what's going on in your life that are not healthy for you, and they need to be released, okay? And this is why we have the chakra card coming through by Metatron. Metatron is saying you've got to let go. You've got to let go of what doesn't fit you, what is not in alignment for you anymore, because that stagnant, stuck energy, you know, that anger, that whatever it is that you're holding on to, okay, that hurt, that pain, that blame, whatever that is for you, it's hurting your field. It's hurting your human body. Everything starts off energetically, but eventually it's going to be expressed on a physical level, okay? So it's really important for our overall health, mind, body, spirit, to feel our feelings, to call in our spirit guides to help us to do the energy work to release. So pile number 2, grab a topaz crystal. It's going to benefit you right now. And you're getting ask your angels. Whatever is on your heart, ask your angels, okay? Seek their wisdom, invite them in. Our spirit guides are constantly waiting for us to invite them in. Our team is always in the wings saying, we're here for you. All you got to do is say the word. We're not going to interfere unless you invite us in. Invite your angels in. Ask your angels. So if there is something on your heart that you need the wisdom, you need to make the right decision, you need to know if you're making the right choices, you need help feeling the things that you feel, you need help releasing pain, accessing the forgiveness that you need to give somebody. Ask your angels for help. That's what this is about, okay? They do want to help you. They know that you're struggling. They know that you're dealing with a lot of overwhelming emotions, and they want you to love yourself through it. They want to love you through it, and they want you to trust that when you come out on the other side of this, you are going to be a so much stronger version of yourself, and you will have a little bit better of an understanding of why you had to go through it, okay? And finally, you're getting the scales of balance as your symbol. Okay, so this beautiful scales of balance is coming through, and it just tells me that this is exactly why this is happening. Pile number 2, there is something that was imbalanced. There was something that needed to be shifted, okay? This is happening. So when you think about the hard things in your life right now, when you think about the upheaval or the changes that are happening that are not your choice, understand they're bringing energies into balance that are time, okay? There's been an imbalance somewhere in your life. There has been fears that have ruled the roost. There has been unhealthy patterns of energy here. I think that there has been a lot of you holding yourself back from whatever needs to heal. There's been resistance on your part. So spirit has kind of put you in a position of like, you got to do it. You got to heal it. So we're going to kind of line things up in a way that's going to force you to heal because we know this is what you need. So you just got to go with it. Okay. Because I think that maybe there was a great resistance on your end for a long time. I see somebody commented, I can't see everybody's names because of the streaming platform, but whoever just said you're so sad that you missed most of the reading, don't worry, because you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel. I'll post it in my Facebook group as well. So don't stress if you missed it. No big deal. You'll be able to rewatch it. All right. So pile number 2, you have not been giving yourself enough credit. You have been holding yourself back in some way. You have struggled with self-esteem, maybe self-confidence, self-belief. You, I think, have drained your power, allowed your power to be drained out to other people in your life. Oh, hey, Tracy. Yeah, don't worry. Thanks for writing your name. You'll be able to see it, I promise. So for those of you that chose pile number 2, there has been a draining out, a siphoning of your energy to other people, relationships, situations in your life where you have given more than you've received. And there now is this breakdown happening. There is this difficult chaos cycle happening where things are breaking apart. Old energy is on its way out for you. There is healing here for you around why. Why have you allowed your energy to be drained? Why have you allowed people or situations to take more from you than they should have? Okay. Where have these boundaries been? Stay strong through this. Understand that your angels are here for you. They are supporting you. Pile number 2 is heavy. Kelly says heavy but beautiful. And it is, Kel. It really is. Yeah, Kath even says her self-confidence and self-esteem has skyrocketed lately. That's because of these cards. And these are the cards we want to focus on, pile number 2. The awakening, the powerful awakening. The sacral chakra energy is like exploding, activating. So while it is uncomfortable to learn a lesson, this is a lesson that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. Okay. Remember, you're getting teaching and learning, and Spirit says, accept struggles as lessons. Understand you're growing through it, and you're going to be so much more powerful for it. Okay. So set your boundaries, stand in your strength, stand in your truth, and trust that all is exactly as it's supposed to be, even if it hurts and it's uncomfortable. It is temporary. It will not always feel this way. So when we get into the flow and allow it to be what it is and accept it for what it is, we will allow this cycle to show us the wisdom and show us the lessons more quickly. Therefore, we will exit this cycle and get to the other side where it's a little bit more peaceful and calm and stable. But you've got to allow it to happen, because think about it. It's like a puzzle that needs to get put back together to create a different picture. But if you resist the new picture, you're still going to be in disarray and your puzzle pieces will still be disconnected. Okay. So instead of thinking that your puzzle pieces have to go back together with that same original picture that you started with, you instead need to accept and let go of that idea. And instead say, okay, I'm going to put the puzzle pieces back together. Spirit, guide me. What is the new picture supposed to look like? Okay. Pile number 2. I hope that brings you peace, and I hope it brings you power as you continue to go through whatever it is that you're going through. It is not for nothing. It serves a beautiful purpose in your life, but I do recognize the pain and the hardship of that. So pile number 2, really, really heavy reading. But that's what retrograde is helping you accomplish right now, okay? Woo! All right, pile number 3. You guys chose all the white energy, the purification energy. This was the goddess of pile number 3. This beautiful energy. You're welcome, Kath. I'm so glad you liked it. You also had the aura howlite crystal attached to pile number 3, along with this flashy, really beautiful labradorite tumbled stone. Okay, so we'll start with your goddess card. Pile number 3, let go of any negativity and walk tall. Decorate yourself with grace and make it your reality. Okay, so pile number 3, if you've got any haters in your energy field, whoo, shake them off, okay? Do not dwell on negativity. Walk tall. Decorate yourself with grace and make it your reality. So yeah, if you are dealing with people who are judgmental, that's what this screams to me. People who are telling you something can't be done, people who are judging you for shining your light, people who are questioning your decisions, trying to make you question yourself, people who are trying to make you feel small. Not you, pile number 3, not you. Let's see what else is coming up for you guys. Okay. Your beautiful message of the light is awareness. Okay. I love this card. You can see her heart chakra is just opening up and all the energy is just flowing out of her heart chakra. And I always see in this card, this column of light really representing the higher self, the connection to the higher self. Okay. So it says, I open my consciousness to my true self. I understand that I am here to grow, to free myself from conflict, and just to discover who I really am. Today, I release illusion and the limitations of the material world in order to elevate my being towards the eternal light. I grow stronger and stronger as I explore the wonderful being that I am. So pile number 3, if there's any shenanigans happening in your world where there are people passing their judgment, this deck, Juniper Moon, is called Messages of Life. The back looks like this. They're these really tall, skinny cards. I love them. My friend Lindsay turned me on to this deck. You are, this retrograde season for you guys, pile number 3, is definitely about really discerning and focusing your energy and your awareness on yourself and your beauty as a soul being expressed in human form. It is not about fitting in for you. It is not about making, gaining approval from anybody else. Like, this is absolutely your time to focus inward on yourself and to shine your light, to communicate with your soul, to communicate with your higher self, and literally tune out distractions, okay? This beautiful depiction of that column of light in front of her, this is the higher self connection that every single one of us has. And it is our choice always to consciously connect with our soul and the wisdom that we carry with us into this lifetime. We have access to this divine wisdom at all times. So for pile number 3, this is definitely a period of time where you are being urged to be discerning in what you focus on. Okay, truly go within and allow yourself to grow in the way that you're due. All right, and you guys have this beautiful card, Living Light Energy. See the beauty in life. Wow. I love this. It's like the tree of life. And again, you guys have all this white energy, all this cleansing purity that came through, even with the white howlite here. This is really awesome energy for you guys. This beautiful, beautiful white tree coming up, and you can kind of see it's coming up from almost like rocks, like from darkness. Okay. And you have this beautiful tree of light coming up from the darkness where it looks just like really cold and lonely. But then you have this beautiful tree of life. See the beauty in life. You are going to see what you expect. You are going to see, your thoughts are creating your reality here, pile number 3. It's going to be really important for you. You will see the negative. You will see the energy that drags you down. You will have experiences. If you are looking for people to be negative, you're going to get it. If you are looking for experiences that are going to make you stressed out or make you feel victimized, you're going to get it. If instead you're looking for the magic and the miracles that life has to offer, and the miracle that you are, and the limitless potential that you bring into your life with your energy field, you will be able to create amidst anything that can potentially hold you down. It's your choice, okay? Your thoughts are really important. Your Attention is really important this Mercury retrograde. So pile number 3, don't get caught up in drama. Don't get caught up in thoughts that catastrophize or that send you spiraling down that like what if and picturing all the things that could go wrong. Thoughts that make you feel like you're a victim, that people are always judging you, that things never work out for you, that you don't have any luck. Why does this always happen to me? Of course my computer stops working. Only me. Like things like that. When you talk like that, when you think like that, that's what you're going to get, okay? It's really important instead that you see beyond that. And you understand that while maybe in the 3D earth, these are the challenges that we come up against, we're limitless spiritual beings made out of energy. We can manifest anything we want. This tree right here is a depiction of your manifestation energy. So pile number 3, this is really important. What I see here is a beautiful opportunity for manifestation, okay? Thoughts, yep, Imperfect Candor says thoughts are manifestations. Absolutely. Our thought energy, everything starts with our thoughts, right? And we even said that all of these cards are representing crown energy, the mental energy. There is spiritual wisdom that we want to be working with, not the lower vibration thoughts of limitations or feeling stuck or feeling, really living in the density of being human. It doesn't mean the challenges go away, pile 3. But what it means is how you respond to the challenges that's how you create what you experience. That's how you create this beautiful tree of life. This is you growing you. This is you manifesting life. This is you manifesting your experiences, manifesting the emotions that you want to have, okay? You are magical. You are not a victim to your circumstances. You are not powerless amidst your circumstances, pile number 3, okay? So this is really important because we have this original goddess card that says, let go of any negativity and walk tall. I mean, how interesting that down here, the perception and perspective of this card is really kind of dark and negative on the bottom, right? It's kind of like this dark, rocky, I'm trying not to have the reflection, dark, rocky area. And yet then we have this beautiful tall tree of life. So we're being told to walk tall, pile 3. So let's say during this retrograde season, you've got situations in your life that seem like really, they're crappy. Things are not working out. This is hard. Things are not flowing. I'm feeling really lonely, isolated, powerless, all that kind of stuff. I want you to remember this reading because Spirit's saying, yeah, this is going to show up, but then you're going to be the magician. You are going to rise up and you're going to create this. And it's going to take your awareness. Well, how do we shift from the awareness of potentially like, okay, so here's all my challenges. Here's the challenging people. Here's people that say crappy things to me. Here's people rejecting me. Here's my, where I feel really lonely and I feel like, I can't relate to everybody else and nobody can relate to me. How do I go from here up to this beautiful magical tree of life? Well, first, you need to not pay attention to the negativity. Okay, that was your first piece of advice. So don't dwell, don't have conversations about it. If somebody makes you mad, like try to shake it off, let it go. Understand that everybody else's behavior comes from them. It has nothing to do with you, everything to do with them. Therefore, don't dwell in being really mad at people. Don't dwell in wanting to engage in negative conversations. Pile number 3, this is very important for you. Instead, you want to connect with soul and source, and you want to invite in new wisdom that's going to help you manifest a different experience, okay? I see this as a time of you really working on your own creative powers. All right, and you are getting the beauty way of the Navajo coming through. That's right, Gypsy says, can't see the haters. Look at that, eyes closed, hands in prayer, butterfly of transformation above the head here. This is you, pile number 3, or I would advise this to be you. Be in communication with your soul, right? Notice that in both of these cards, eyes are closed, and these people are seeking up. Seek up, okay? Pile number 3, seek up, rise above the physical reality and the physical experience that you have this retrograde season, because you are not meant to live in it. You are not meant to deal with it. You are meant instead to rise above it because Spirit wants to help teach you how you are in control, okay? How you are able to create your own experiences. Okay, so you were stuck between the 2 sets and now you know you're supposed to be here late and here the 3rd. Awesome. I don't know who that is because they're not telling me your name, but tell me your name, whoever that was. So perfect. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Whoever you guys are, like, thanks. I'll hopefully see it when I log into Facebook later. And Kelly heard my DMB reference. Yep. Seek up. You guys, pile number 3, actually had 2 of the Earth Warriors fly out. And this one is your second one. Turquoise Changing Woman. I love her. She is so beautiful. She has the wings of the phoenix. You can see that. Oh, there it is, Tracy again. Awesome. Sorry, Trace, that you have to say that every time. So this turquoise changing woman has the wings of the phoenix or of a bird with a beautiful sun. And she is just on the lookout, like looking towards the sun. All right. You don't have time for the haters. You don't have time for negativity. It does not matter what shows up this Mercury retrograde. You are here to rise above, to connect with soul, to have that wisdom come through and to create amidst the muck. I embody this. I connect so much with the magician of the tarot. And what I love about the magician is it's the conscious choice to work with our own energy tools that we know are what help us transmute. Hey, Steph, good to see you. That we know transmute energy and transmute the circumstances that we find ourselves in, okay? There have been moments in my life where I've been completely powerless and been, with this card, I've been down here where the circumstances as a human, they've been like really bad. They've been like, rock bottom, like super easy to wallow in like self-despair and hopelessness. And then instead of wallowing in my circumstances, I've always tapped into spirit and said, okay, show me how to create. So pile number 3, make a list. What do you want to create in your life? What experiences do you want to have over the next 6 weeks span? If there's something going on in your life where you have been feeling, really judged, really stuck, really down in the doldrums, and you're like, I don't know, Laura, I don't know how to create this magical tree of life, okay? You're telling me I have the power to do it, but I'm not sure. How do I ignore the haters or ignore the negativity and instead access this beautiful tree of life and create what I really desire? Well, the first thing is to be conscious, right? That's why you have awareness coming through. So if I were you, and this is a tool that I do, I would sit down and I would make that list of what do you desire to create? What is the negative doldrums that you're stuck in? What are the challenges that you're being faced with? And rather than spending time focusing on the challenges, instead, focus on the emotions and the vision of overcoming the challenges, okay? So if for you, let's say you are house shopping right now and the market is really competitive for a buyer and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like every house I bid on, I'm not getting, and I don't know where I'm going to end up, and I'm feeling really hopeless. How am I going to find the right house for my family that's affordable in this market? Okay, this is actually a problem that some of my friends are having right now. How do you create the perfect home? Because that's what this tree would represent amidst in this particular reality moment, right? Well, you ignore the reality, you ignore the statistics, you ignore what all the experts are saying. Oh, it's going to be hard. Nope. Instead, you sit down with a piece of paper and you connect with soul of what would your perfect home be for you and your family? What would the space look like? Spend time visualizing, spend time connecting to the energy of what it will feel like when you're in that space, not what it has to look like, but instead the energy that you will feel when you're there. Because this is how we co-create. We connect with the emotional energy. We don't limit by thinking it has to happen a certain way. All right. Instead, we open ourselves up to receive the joy and the love and the abundance of what we want to create by just connecting to the emotional joy of that. Okay. To that emotional abundance, to that emotional, that peace that will come through, that relief of no longer having the burden of the problem. Okay. And that is why this is so important that you go within. All right. That is why this is so important that you close your eyes and you ignore what you're being told. So if you're being told, there's very little chance that's going to happen for you. Statistics show things are not in your favor, or experts are saying that it's like, some type of a negative outlook. Don't focus on what your current reality is. Instead, connect in with soul and invite soul to align things as they need to be, okay? And then continue to be on the lookout and have your awareness focusing only on the blessings that spirit wants to bring in, okay? The sun right here is the blessing, the illumination. The way is going to be shown to you, all right? So this co-creative energy coming through here is really spirit saying, hey, we're training you right now. We're training you to be an awesome co-creator, an awesome manifester. But if you get caught up in the hopelessness of your reality or in the negativity of your reality or what people are saying, you're going to lower your vibration. You're going to be distracted and things are not going to evolve for you the way that you really want. So you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused on soul. All right, let's keep going. So we're getting the numerology card of number 14, moderation. Okay, so too much of anything is not a good thing, right? So moderation is coming through. Is this moderation in your thoughts? Is this you being hyper aware of when you're thinking negative judgmental thoughts? Is this moderation in the way that you're working with your emotions? Okay, are we flying off the handle when things go wrong? Or are we sitting and accepting things, challenges as they arise, and we're accepting what's presented to us, and we are staying in a state of peace, and we are allowing spirit to guide the way that we respond to life, okay? What is the moderation? Now, for some of us, it could be emotional moderation. It could be the moderation of our thoughts, really, truly being discerning in our thoughts and aware of our thoughts and how they're influencing our reality. Moderation can also come through for some of us, depending on what are some habits that we have going on. Are there unhealthy habits that we have been engaging in that are too much, that are not healthy for us? Maybe there's moderation that's needed in food, in drink, in exercise, in worrying. I mean, what's the thing that needs moderation for you? See how that lands. What's the first thing that comes to mind right now that you're like, yeah, I think it's a little bit too much of fill in the blank. Spirit saying that moderation is needed. Let your soul fill that blank in for you. Now we have allowing. Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. So allowing, all right? Allowing yourself to see the both and, right? To see that things, ready? I'm constantly backwards on my screens. To see that, yes, things can look really hard, but it doesn't matter because the miracle of this beautiful tree of manifestation and creation is possible, okay? All we have to do is allow. All we have to do is not resist. Don't fall into this negative mindset of dwelling on the negativity and or the powerlessness, frustration, whatever those emotions are for you, okay? We want to allow things to unfold as they should, trust that things are unfolding perfectly at all times, and not, rather than thinking, oh my gosh, things haven't changed in 24 hours, I'm not doing it right. No. Divine timing, trust. Divine timing, trust. So you might make your list and you might, really truly tap into the emotional reward of what it is that you want to create and tap into that emotional joy and that fulfillment and all of that celebration. And then a week goes by and you're still in the challenges of this particular card down here. Don't worry. It's not because you did it wrong. It's because there's a divine timing that has to happen, okay? So radical acceptance is trusting no matter what's in your reality, it's always perfectly aligned and everything will happen exactly as it should, okay? But things have to fall into place in the right order for them to be in the perfect alignment, okay? We have to trust that maybe conversations need to happen. Things need to happen first before the end result can show up. We are getting liberation. I love this card. All right, we're getting liberation, the beautiful dragonfly. The doubts and fears still come up, but you don't believe anymore that they're you. I love that, right? Because isn't this exactly what we're talking about? This awareness is like, okay, I get it. So here I am having this human life and I'm dealing with all of this, all of these rocks down here, these challenges, but I'm not held down to the challenges. I'm not restricted by these challenges because I am able to grow my magical manifesting tree here. I am able to use my energy, my soul to turn lead into gold. So I am not held back by the negativity or the challenges. Instead, I am quite capable of transmuting them, okay? Therefore, We're letting go of the fears that hold us back, or the lack of, that self-doubt that holds us back. The beliefs that you're stuck where you are. You're not. All right, pile 3? You are not. You are being liberated. So trust it. Number 37 from Archangel Metatron, detach from drama and look up. What did I tell you? Seek up, okay? Seek up. Let go of the drama that holds you back. What does this mean to you? Who's causing your drama? What's causing your drama? We've started out with our goddess, and I said from the beginning, I felt like this was a purification reading for you guys. Let go of any negativity and walk tall. Free yourself from the drama. Who is giving you drama? What is causing you drama? Stop giving it your attention, okay? It just doesn't matter, all right? You are a being of the light. You are surrounded by light. You are totally blessed. Your entire journey is blessed. So don't give it your attention. Maybe that's the moderation that needs to come in. Maybe pile number 3, you're giving way too much attention to that which triggers you or makes you upset or stressed out or angry. Okay? Stop. All right. And Archangel Metatron is saying ancestors, appreciation and healing. So pile number 3, you are getting a similar message coming through that pile number 1 got. Your ancestors are coming through, recognizing the work that you're doing. So what you are able to learn right now in this retrograde is not just for you. You're actually breaking patterns that have been in existence in your family line for a long time, for generations and generations. Not only are you breaking it for those loved ones that are in spirit and helping break free and heal the energy that they didn't get a chance to break free and heal, but you're also healing energy for the future generations that are coming after you. So by you elevating in consciousness, by you choosing to be aware of your soul and to create from soul and to rise above the human restrictions and to rise above the human ego and to rise above the entanglements that we find ourselves in with each other, when you can rise above that and instead go the way of the turquoise woman, okay, the wisdom, that is what changes everything. Now, I am going to say that I do have a sense here that maybe there's something that needs to be spoken. For some of you, I think there's something that needs to be said, because when we have turquoise, that's the throat chakra. Tracy says you need to pinch yourself right now. Spot on. Awesome, Tracy. And this is the message for you. If you have, okay, let's say we have this card representing, when we talk about the lower vibration of this card, these challenges down here, the patterns, the beliefs, the cycles, the systems within the family line that have been really challenging, okay? There's been drama, there's been pain in the family line. So for some of you, I think you might need to say something. You might need to speak up to heal and set free something that needs to be said, okay? Because I feel like spirit is definitely guiding your words, okay? And that's coming up here with this liberation. So I do think that you are being guided to say something important, and you need to trust the guidance that comes through. You need to trust that soul needs to speak through you. And when we talk about this negativity and this liberation from it and the drama, we're not talking about speaking in a judgmental way where we're putting the other people down, like, I can't believe you act like that and do that or whatever. It's instead speaking from soul, because what you're doing here is soul work in a generational way, okay? You are transmuting some generational trauma here. You are transmuting some generational patterns of energy that need to shift, okay? So we're talking that this isn't even just affecting you, but this has affected all the people that came before you in your family line. So maybe for you, if you're a woman, you're changing some female energy in terms of the way women are perceived or women are expected to show up in the family. Maybe you are setting free and liberating the women and the females in your family from restricting and limiting patterns of the way that they're viewed. Maybe there is a cycle here that has had conflict somehow, and you are breaking free of that conflict. You're putting it to rest, okay? This is a pretty big, I feel like there's a heavy assignment here for you guys, pile 3, but it's a really good one because you're changing things for everybody. Look at that. Feel joy in all you do. So don't doubt what you have to do, okay? Don't doubt what you have to do. When Spirit says feel joy in all you do, you don't have to feel guilty to be happy. And if this is about choosing your happiness, pile 3, feel joy in that. You are allowed to choose you. You are allowed to choose what's right for you. All right. So really trusting yourself and understanding that you kind of really are on assignment this Mercury retrograde to turn lead into gold. And you're doing it from an energy of love. You're doing it from an energy of self-love, from that higher self, that higher consciousness awareness. It's really beautiful. You're being guided. Trust in it, that if you feel the urge to detach from negativity, to set healthier boundaries around, negative energy, judgmental energy, anything that drains you, you're being guided to do so. Your crystal is the rhodochrosite. Be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and need time to heal and recover. Yeah. So the rhodochrosite is a heart chakra crystal. It's a beautiful pink banded crystal. I don't have any right next to me, or I would show it to you. But it's a really beautiful crystal. So for pile number 3, go ahead and look it up. Rhodochrosite is the crystal. I would suggest grabbing one of these, keeping it near you if you already have one, because this is about healing the heart chakra. You need time to heal and recover. You need to love yourself right now, okay? So we're not focusing on the negativity, but we are honoring our need to rest. We are honoring our need to break free and to separate ourselves from that negativity. We are honoring the fact that when we transmute generational trauma and when we transmute and turn lead into gold, that takes our energy. It takes emotional energy. It takes our physical energy. So you want to give yourself time to rest. Again, kind of mirroring that moderation, okay? Like you don't need to do everything in one day. You don't need to have every conversation in one day, all right? Oh, nice. Kath says she just discovered rhodochrosite and purchased some rhodonite and it helps with calming. Yeah, they're beautiful crystals. I love both of those. And you are getting within the next few weeks, okay? Within the next few weeks is your timeline from the angels, pile 3. So there are going to be changes within the next few weeks. This whole process is definitely happening during Mercury retrograde for you. So if you find that there's a lot more negativity that comes up for you right now, that like all of a sudden it seems amped up, like you're suddenly like surrounded by different situations or people that are like kind of putting it in your face and confronting you with things that you find challenging, understand that this is the lesson that's here for you. It is the mission that's here for you, is to rise above the challenges that are presented to you and instead go within, to be the creator that you are. Okay, you are meant to create your tree of life. And let's talk about the tree for a minute. This is, the tree as a sacred symbol represents life, but it also represents the structure of life, okay? In fact, when you think about the Kabbalah represents the tree of life. That's what it's known to be. And the actual shape of the Kabbalah represents our energy chakra systems, along with some other energy points that are in alignment with different religions, okay? And different belief systems. And it all represents this structure, this foundational structure of how our energy flows and how our energy systems interact and support each other. Okay, so when we're looking at this card, this is no small feat. To create this beautiful tree of life for yourself, this involves healing. This involves a really rooted, stable sense of self. This involves a commitment to yourself, a self-trust, a self-confidence. This is, in order to create this, you need to choose you, and you need to honor what you've experienced, because whatever needs healing needs to be healed in order for you to create this beautiful, healthy tree of your own personal life. And that's really what you're doing. It's like you are growing a healthier version of yourself through your actions, through your words, and through your attention. This is your conscious co-creation of this Mercury retrograde season, pile 3. It's about you rerooting yourself and reinventing yourself in certain ways, in a way that is in alignment with you, all right? And finally, oh my God, stop. You can't even make it up. You got the tree symbol as your symbol card. I mean, like, I can't even handle it. I do not look at the cards when I shuffle them and deal them. I just put them all face down. So This is totally not me. This is the magic of spirit, and I can't even love this more. So pile number 3, the tree is all about what you're doing right now. I know, Kelly says, whoa. Can you dig it? So yeah, just understand, like you're healing family trauma here. You are breaking cycles that need to be broken, that are unhealthy for all involved. You are rising above the drama. You are rerouting yourself into something much more stable, much more in alignment with who you are. So pile number 3, you've got a beautiful mission here. Trust yourself. Allow yourself to feel joy. Do not be pulled down by the negative vibrations of others or situations that seem challenging. Instead, trust that you are on a mission this retrograde season to turn lead into gold, to go from down here where it's dark and dreary and feels really crappy to instead being this magical manifester of soul energy by shining your light. That tree is lit up with you. This is your truth. This is your strength. This is your beautiful expression of who you came here to be, not to dim yourself, dull yourself, or make yourself small for anybody else. That is not what you should be doing. So pile number 3, I wish you so much luck and love and growth, and get yourself a rhodochrosite crystal and carry it around in your left pocket during Mercury retrograde. And trees are a symbol for you guys, so pay attention to the signs and synchronicities when trees show up in your awareness, whether in visual images or you see posts about trees, or trees catch your eye outside, or you feel a desire to go walk among the trees. Pile number 3, the trees have a very strong connection to you right now. So go ahead and work with tree energy in whatever way you feel called for. And detach from the drama. All right. So thank you all for being here and watching. Those of you that have been on the live, those of you on the replay, please feel free to comment and let me know what you thought of this reading, which one you chose. And I wish you guys all a beautiful Mercury retrograde full of healing and growth and learning. Bye, everybody. And wait, this is the best. I don't know how to turn off the Instagram video. All right, I'm going to start over here. You're welcome. Bye, guys.